Raider Nation, what's going on? We got some breaking news here. The Las Vegas Raiders are going out and signing edge rusher Chandler Jones to a 3-year, $51 million deal. On top of that, the Raiders also traded away Yannick Ngakoue to the Indianapolis Colts for cornerback Rock Ya-Sin. We're going to go ahead. We're going to talk about both of these stories and everything that actually happened today. The first thing that we're going to dive into, though, this one's from Tom Pelissero. The 4-time Pro Bowl pass rusher Chandler Jones is finalizing a deal with the Silver and Black. Personally, I thought Jones was the top edge rusher in the class, and the fact that he also has his old ties with New England, this deal makes a lot of sense to me. 107.5 sacks and 139 career games, and then you look at the number down there below. I do not have the guaranteed dollars as it stands right now, but it's a 3-year, $51 million deal. There's going to be some people out there like, oh, Mitch, he's getting up there in age a little bit. You're right. He is getting up there in age. But if Casey Hayward taught me anything last year is you can be 31, 32 years old, and if you can be a good fit in a system, not only are you going to be able to help all the other players around you, you can have a good year because you know the system extremely well. Over the past 4 seasons, these are the type of numbers that Jones has been able to put up. In 2021, 41 tackles, 12 tackles for loss, 10.5 sacks, 6 forced fumbles. I think that's pretty good, right? In 2020, battled a few injuries. People are like, oh, Jones is done. He's not going to be able to come back. If 10.5 sacks is a bad year, 10.5 sacks is pretty damn good if you ask me. In 2019, 20 tackles for a loss, 19 sacks, 8 forced fumbles. The year before that, 49 tackles, 17 tackles for loss, 13 sacks, and 3 forced fumbles. He got his start with New England, and I personally believe that this move makes a ton of sense. So let's hop into our time portal here. I'd have to go back almost 10 years till I was back in high school, and I want to see a report card down in the comments, something like I've never seen before. I personally think that this is an A move by the Raiders. You're able to get an elite pass rusher. Was it the biggest need for the team? Maybe not. But you know what? If you got Patrick Mahomes, if you have Russell Wilson and Justin Herbert in your division, and you're going to be going up against those quarterbacks 6 times this upcoming season, you need an edge rusher, which is why I am giving this an A grade. Edge wasn't the biggest need. That's okay. Chandler Jones, coming into today, coming into free agency, was the #1 free agent I had on my board for other NFL teams. I didn't actually anticipate the Raiders to go out and make this move, but the fact that they did still should tell everyone who was kind of sweating a little bit, because everyone entering today was like, oh man, are the Raiders going to tank? The Chandler Jones signing tells me this. The Raiders are going to laugh in the face of anybody out there that thinks that this team isn't going to go out there, that this team isn't going to try to win football games right away. And when you want to talk about just the most sacks, the most numbers since 2016, okay? Chandler Jones has been a menace. And you can look, sometimes guys have good 1 years, right? Okay, that's great and all. But when you're able to do it for a very long time on a consistent basis, that's very awe-inspiring to me. And Chandler Jones, you know, since 2016, he's got the second most sacks in the NFL. Now you pair him with Maxx Crosby. Crosby coming off an incredible year as well. Like, 70.5 sacks since 2016. That's insane. Only Aaron Donald has more with 78. He has more than TJ Watt at 67, Cam Jordan at 67. Then there's a huge drop-off at 47.5. I will always love and appreciate what Ngakoue did, but the fact that the Raiders were essentially able to go out and sign Chandler Jones and then also fill a big-time need at corner by getting Rock Ya-Sin, which we'll go ahead and break down here in a second. Guys, I'm telling you, this is a slam dunk. To make sure you never miss anything going on around the Silver and Black, to make sure that you know more than your friends, your roommates, your family about the Raiders, I need you to hit that subscribe button. Let's get to 110,000 subs on the Raiders Report YouTube channel. We're breaking down free agency, breaking down news and rumors, even if it's at 6:30 in the morning at my house. We're going to be doing stuff for the draft. I promise you, you won't find another YouTube channel that keeps you as up to date as what we do, and we like to have a lot of fun here as well. So seriously, subscribe and turn on those notifications. The other thing that went down just a few minutes ago, The Raiders, they went out and they signed Yannick Ngakoue last season to a 2-year, $26 million deal. All $26 million was fully guaranteed. Now, they go ahead, they ship off Ngakoue back to the Indianapolis Colts. Remember, Gus Bradley, the old Raiders DC, was a big fan of Ngakoue. In fact, Bradley was the one that drafted Ngakoue back for the Jacksonville Jaguars, ends up bringing him over here for Rock Ya-Sin. Rock Ya-Sin is a physical cornerback, drafted number 34 overall in the 2019 draft out of Temple. So the deal was this. The Raiders got Rock Ya-Sin straight up. The Indianapolis Colts were able to get Yannick Ngakoue. I understand that y'all are going to miss Ngakoue. I will too. But Rock Ya-Sin is a top 20 cornerback as far as I'm concerned, and the move meant that you were able to get a top corner and you were able to go out and get an elite premier edge rusher at a position that you desperately needed. Also, remember a little bit earlier today, which I covered, the Raiders moved on from Carl Nassib. So you needed an extra edge rusher, an extra guy who you could hopefully put in a 3-4 front up top. That move ended up saving you $8 million, and between the Corey Littleton cut, between the Carl Nassib cut, that's going to be $20 million that you're going to get after June 1st. Now, a lot of people are going to look at these numbers like, all right, Mitch, he didn't have any interceptions. We need guys to get interceptions. I'm not saying you're totally wrong on that. However, Rock Ya-Sin's ability, he's a physical dude, and you guys are going to love the physicality, the swagger, the toughness that he's going to bring every single day, not only to game day. He's going to bring it to the locker room. He's going to bring it. I actually know a few people who went to school with Rock Ya-Sin in Temple, and he does. He's got the swagger, and he's a hell of a cornerback. So what I want to know, y'all, you see this trade straight up, because this is what it is. No swapping of picks, nothing else besides that. Let me know down in the comments section, who do you think won this deal? I want you to go ahead and type LV for the Las Vegas Raiders, or I want you to go ahead and I want you to type IND for the Indianapolis Colts. Personally, I think that you could say that both teams ended up winning this deal because the Colts, they get an edge rusher, which they need, and the Raiders also get a big-time need in corner. So I can say both sides. But I like the idea of paying Rock Ya-Sin on a cheaper deal. I mean, last season, according to PFF, 72.4 overall coverage grade, 53.2 run defense grade, and I was actually pretty impressed by the fact that he didn't get beat all that often. I mean, you want to talk about he had 46 targets against him and allowed 26 receptions. That's actually not too bad. Indianapolis played a simple defense last season, and this move is going to help out the Raiders. So I think Raider Nation is a family. Would you guys agree with that? Yeah? I need you guys to go ahead and support me on Rumble, because Rumble called me the other day, yesterday, and they said, hey, Mitch, we noticed you have way less followers than all the other chat sports channels. And I was like, I promise you, if the Raiders make a move today, that's going to change. So all I ask is don't make me look like a liar. Go ahead, give Rumble a follow. Follow them for news, sports, extra Raiders content. Rumble.com/Raiders Report. And if you want to talk about numbers, because they say numbers never lie, right? At least that's what I've heard. The Raiders Report entering today was way behind the Chiefs, way behind the Browns, behind the Giants, behind the Cowboys. And as far as I'm concerned, Raider Nation knows how to get down, and we got the best damn fans in all of sports. So if you guys could do me a real solid here, there's going to be a link in the comments. There's also going to be a link in the description of this video. Please go ahead and give Rumble a follow, because if you do, it helps me out a ton. I know this might be a crazy thing to say out loud, but I love doing this show. And doing free things like this, where all you got to do is follow them. It's 100% free. It shows my bosses, it shows Rumble that what we're doing around here actually matters. And it shows people that, you know what, we should go ahead and we should invest in this kid. So if you could do that for me, I'd greatly appreciate it. Let's now look at the Raiders' new defensive line. It's interesting. Maxx Crosby at edge, Chandler Jones at edge as well. You might even be able to make a... I feel like I can make a list for or something with linebackers and put Jones there. Malcolm Kuntz, Cleveland Ferrell. As it stands right now, the only 4 defensive tackles that the Raiders have on their roster are Bilal Nichols, Billings, P.J. Johnson, and then Kendall Vickers. That's it. Those are the only 4 players you got. And Bilal Nichols was signed today to a 2-year, $11 million deal, and $9 million of that was fully guaranteed. So 51 tackles last season, 3 sacks. Personally, I think he's more of a pass-rushing defensive tackle, which tells me that the Raiders are still going to be in the mix on going out and trying to find somebody that can be more of a run stopper. He is versatile. His first 2 years in the NFL, the 5th-round pick out of Delaware, I believe is where he came from. 5th-round pick out of Delaware, went to the Chicago Bears, was a defensive end. Then they went ahead, they kicked him inside to defensive tackle. He's a good player. He's been linked to Las Vegas, and in fact, I know he's already been reaching out to some of my friends in Vegas, and he's looking to get more involved in the community. That's awesome, man. Here was the other move that the Raiders made yesterday, right? Yesterday? Yes. All the days, man, they're just blurred together at this point, was Darius Phillips. He agreed to a 1-year, $2.2 million contract, and actually, I believe the way that contract is phrased is up to $2.25 million. Good depth at corner. He can play inside. He can play outside. And he's also going to be able to bring some special teams value, which I know Patriots coaches love. And we're going to stop saying the Patriot way. This is the new Raider way. So we went live on the Raiders Report. We got over 3,000 people watching this video right now. And if you're excited to welcome Chandler Jones to the silver and black, I want y'all to go ahead and like the video, because the amount of questions, the amount of comments that I've seen. Also, Maxx Crosby just posted on Twitter, man, he's ready to rock. He's ready to go with Chandler Jones. He's got his drip going. They're ready to wreck the league, and I can't wait to watch it either. Chandler Jones is going to help out this defense. Yes, he's getting up there in age. He knows the Patriot defense. He knows what somebody like Josh McDaniels, what Dave Ziegler are going to be looking for, and he's going to bring that heat. Look at it. Absolutely love it. Maxx Crosby on the phone with Chandler Jones. If that doesn't make you smile, I want you guys to go ahead and take a screenshot of this. Post it on Twitter. Post it on Instagram. Tag me. Let's share it, because Max is excited and I'm excited too. Now, I also know this. Max and Yannick were great friends. However, this show is about making the Raiders better. The National Football League is making the team better. And I know there was a lot of people out there that were worried that the Raiders were going to tank. And I told you all 100 times yesterday, a 10-win football team with head coach Josh McDaniels is not going to tank. They're not going to go into a rebuild mode. So you go out, you make this deal here. You move on from Carl Nassib, save $8 million. Go outside Chandler Jones to a 3-year, $51 million deal. And then you're also able to address a top need, which is cornerback, and a corner who's going to fit exactly what Raider fans want. Tough, good coverage guy. He's going to come in there, work his tail off from day one. Ngakoue, I will miss the hell out of you, but I'm excited to have Rock Ya-Sin in silver and black. So what I want to know from y'all, rate the Raiders' offseason moves so far. Yesterday I asked this question, and people were putting 0. I said 1 to 100. People were putting 0. So now with the move of today, now also with the trade for Rock Ya-Sin, with the signing of Chandler Jones, I want you to go down in the comments and let me know, rate the Raiders' offseason moves so far.